Disneyland Paris is the most magical place on earth, but it's also one of the most expensive places. I mean, like, guys, it's so expensive. So if you want to save some money, here we have some tips on do so. Hi, my name is Marike from Magical Vacation Guide, and here at Magical Vacation Guide we share everything you need to know for your Disneyland Paris vacation, so you are always prepared and get the fullest out of your Disneyland Paris vacation. In this video we're gonna talk about some saving tips we have for you. We have experienced Disneyland Paris is really expensive, and if you are a little bit on a budget or some items are less important to you, here we have some saving tips. So stay tuned and find out our saving tips with us. If you want to save some money on going to the Disneyland parks and you visit more than once a year, think about getting an annual pass. If you get a 2-park 3-day ticket, it will cost you between 200 and around 300 euros per 3 days, 2 parks. The cheapest annual pass is around 250 euros, and it is mostly on selected days. You have 100 days a year, I think. I'm gonna put down a link for the Disneyland Paris website and our website to check out the full information about annual pass. But the thing is, if you have an annual pass, you can go more than once. Think about if you want to buy an annual pass to replace that 3-day ticket, you cannot, because the annual pass is not, you cannot use your annual pass on the 2nd and 3rd day of that cheapest annual pass. You do when you have a Magic Flex or Magic Plus or Infinity, but on the cheapest annual pass it is not available for the 2nd and 3rd day. So think about getting an annual pass if you go to the Disneyland parks more than once. Saving tip number: if you want to save some money on buying tickets, think about buying a dated ticket instead of an undated ticket. So you have 2 kinds of tickets here in Disneyland Paris, a dated and an undated ticket. As the name says, if you buy a dated ticket, you actually make a reservation for that day. But it will save you 10% of a ticket if you buy it instead of an undated ticket. You can buy an undated ticket if you want to surprise someone, but you don't know the day yet. But if you want to save some money, you can better buy a dated ticket. And also, this is a little bit, it's not tricky, but it is a little bit more complicated. If you also want to save some bucks, this is an extra tip. If you are looking to book a Disneyland Paris vacation and you want to go during your school holidays in your country, it might be worth your while to check out the websites on the Disneyland Paris website of the other countries. Switch to another language, switch to another country, and check out if they have worthwhile deals there. It can save you some money. Saving tip number: if you want to save some money, I should recommend that if you are going only one day to Disneyland Paris, don't buy a combi ticket. A combi ticket or a park hopper or whatever, it can get you the entrance of 2 parks, Disneyland Park and Walt Disney Studios. But definitely when it's the higher season, it's more busier season, you will not have time for that. So save some extra money and buy just a 1-day park ticket. 1 park, 1 day. And I suggest that you do it for the Disneyland Park, because I'm sorry Disney, but Walt Disney Studios Park is just not worth it. So if you only have 1 day, go do a 1 park, a 1-day ticket and do Disneyland Park. Sure, if you want want to go into a season with more crowded, you have maybe more entertainment, you have more things to see, more things to do, also longer waiting lines, but also a higher price tag. If you want to save some money going to Disneyland Paris, make sure to go into the season with a lower crowds. What can you think of a season with lower crowds? Mid-January until mid-March, on weekly days, Monday until Friday. You can think of mid-April until mid-May, and then obviously the weekly days are less crowded than the weekends ever. And avoid the holidays, the school holidays. Don't go during summer vacation, don't go during Christmas vacation, don't go during French holidays. If you go to those on those days and you book a hotel, because the price, it varies a bit. You have low season and high season price tickets, but the hotel tickets, they increase a lot. The bigger the crowds, the bigger the price tag. So do your research if you want to save some bucks to go maybe on weekly days and avoid the school vacations. If you want to save some bucks, obviously you should not eat in the parks. It's an extra experience and it is worth it. But if you want to save some bucks and you just want to go with a lower budget, bring your own food. Or bring your own food for one part of the day, for example. Because the restaurants in Disneyland Paris can get pretty expensive. Think of 15 to 20 euros for one menu per person. Also, what we really like to do, because you need to stay hydrated and need to drink, we bring our own water and drinks. Mostly we have a couple of bottles, but you can also refill it in the park, because the water in the park is super expensive. And if you don't like the French water, I can get that because there's more chlorine in it. I have the solution. So what do I have? I have my own bottle. Oh, you think it's cute? It is with Mickey. And here in the middle you can see you have this kind of dispenser, and I put like this cold, in the Netherlands we have this cold brew tea which you can put in, and it gives a little bit of a taste, but obviously you can put in some fruit, dried fruit, some herbs. You can also put in just regular tea if you like that, maybe experiment that with at home. So if you don't like this taste of chlorine of the French water from the taps, you can also use this method. It is really cheap and you always have your own water. And the water bottle is for the aesthetics. A major tip that we have, if you want to save some money on food, if you want to go to the parks and just get your food there, we have one major tip that we have tried. If you have like a little hunger and not a really big hunger, this is the ultimate tip for you. What we do, usually you have like these menus with your sides, and desserts are not there anymore, unfortunately, but you have your sides, you have your drinks. So what do we do? Mostly one of us gets the full menu, for example a burger, fries and a drink, or a pasta, a bread and a drink, and the other one takes something a la carte. Think of a salad of €7.50 or €8. Think of just the pasta for €8. So you'll save a big amount of money during your stay. It is especially great if you are a little bit hungry and you just want to eat something, and you can share the fries, the side salad, or the side bread and the drink, of course. Also, another tip of saving money is eating here in Village. Sometimes it's not, when you're eating here, not about saving money, but about getting more quantity and more worth of your food. The food in the park is pretty expensive. You can pay 15 to 20 euros per meal per person. And here in Disney Village you have all these kinds of different restaurants that varies in price. But I can definitely tell you that you get more worth for your money. You can try restaurants like New York style here behind me. This is a really good restaurant, really big salads and pizzas and everything. You can also try Billy Bob's or Earl Grey sandwich, or the big concerns like Vapiano's, Five Guys, or even McDonald's. You can also try to eat in the hotels, but that's pretty expensive, but it's pretty good. But to save a little bit of bucks, try to eat more in Village because you get more worth out of your money. Here's another tip if you want to save some money. You have to get some things at home and don't buy them in a Disney park. Because even though the Disney parks are amazing and they have amazing merchandise, it is rather expensive. Things that you shouldn't buy here at Disney. For example, you should not buy your umbrella or your poncho here. They are overpriced. They are, especially on those days where it's really just bring your own poncho and bring your own umbrella if you think that it might rain. The other thing is a little bit, you have to think that for yourself if you really want that or not. If you want to get autographs and meet and greet characters, you can buy here your own autograph book. An autograph book is actually basically a little book where on the one side you have an autograph and on the other side you can get the photo printed of the character meet and greet. But those autograph books are really expensive. If you want something else, you can also buy a photo album, or you can buy a notebook or a pretty book just at home. It will save you tons of money. And you can also buy these little clips where you can also put that photo in. So if you want to save some money, think about that. Also, another thing is clothing. Clothing at Disney is very expensive. If you want to go to Disney and you want to get some clothing, Disney with Mickey Mouse or Minnie Mouse or whatever, you should probably buy this at home or online before you go, because here in the Disney shops it can get rather expensive. What you can get at some other store or online, and they have more choice. Here you have specific collections, specific colors. Do at least the research before you go. If you want to compare what they have in the parks, like I want to get a Disney shirt, I want to have that. You can also go to the Disney web shop and order that, pre-order that, so you can get it already in your suitcase. Maybe they have a little bit of discount, I don't know. Or you can do your research on what do they have in the parks. Do I like that? Do I like that color palette? Does that color palette fit me? Whatever. And if it doesn't, you can buy it somewhere else if you really want to. So now let's go to the costumes, because the costumes are also very pricey, but I'm gonna show you. Maybe your child likes to go dressed into one of those amazing princesses in Disneyland Paris. But if you are on a budget, it's the most magical thing to get it here. But if you are on a budget, look closely. This beautiful Elsa dress is 70 euros. 70 euros just for this dress. Maybe they wear it once, maybe they wear it twice. It is, if you're on a budget, it's just not worth it. So maybe you should go online and look for those dresses. They have really good, not Disney princesses that really look alike. So there's a tip to save some money on costumes. If you want to buy mini ears, I suggest you don't do that anywhere outside of Disneyland Paris. Except if you have this really amazing Etsy store, because those handcrafted mini ears can be really amazing. But don't ever buy mini ears just outside the parks, because they are just really, really ugly and not worth your money. If you want to do it well. If you want to save some bucks, maybe you should consider booking your hotel not at Disneyland. Because a Disney hotel can get really, really, really expensive. You should look into the partner hotels, which are a little bit off property. You have 5 great hotels on the side. You can book that through Disneyland Paris, and they have a free shuttle bus. We also have made a couple of videos. I'm attaching one here. You can check out to know more about partner hotels. You can also consider going to a hotel outside of Disneyland property and not a partner hotel. You have to consider that because you don't get parking, and parking can get really expensive, 30 euros a day for just a normal car. But you will save some bucks if you do that. So you have to consider it, do your research and figure out what you want. But you need to know that you don't need to book at a Disneyland hotel, and you can save some bucks by booking a partner hotel or an off-property hotel. If you want to save some money on parking costs, because parking costs are huge. If you want to park your car, just your normal personal car, it is 30 euros per day. If you want to save on parking costs, you could park your car at a mall of Val d'Europe and take the train. It's only one station away and it could save you a lot of money. You do have to consider that the last train will go sometime, I don't know, depends on the day, so you have to consider that when doing that, and you have to consider your hotel of where you stay overnight. If it is just outside, it's just in an area, I think that is fine. If it's in this area, it's a little bit more difficult, so you have to think about what you want. Also, a good saving tip is bringing your own stroller. You can rent a stroller here in the Disneyland parks, here in the Disneyland park, here just behind the entrance, and also in Hollywood Studios just before entering Studio 1, but you will pay around 12-15 euros a day, and you also pay a deposit which you get back at the end of the day. And I've seen those strollers are not as comfortable, and you don't have to be afraid that if you bring your own stroller it will get stolen. It's an unwritten rule that you don't touch anyone other strollers. I've never heard of it that a stroller was stolen or anything. And they have special places, they're by the attraction in the theaters, where you can park your stroller. It's not supervised, but it's like this unwritten rule that you don't steal someone else's stroller. It's ridiculous if you even think about it. But if you feel comfortable, you can also always bring a cheap locker to lock your stroller onto a gate or something else. If you want to save some money and you are seduced by the idea of a photo pass, maybe you should let it go. The photo pass is a pass where you can take pictures from professional Disney photographers in attractions or at meet and greet characters, or a special photo pass locations. But it's rather expensive if you want to save some money. If you have it on a budget, you should consider it. But if it's not, maybe this one should get a pass and let it go and spend your money on other things. So you have it. Here you have our saving tips on how to survive Disneyland Paris on a budget, or maybe saving some money here and there while visiting Disneyland Paris. So what do you think? Do you have more tips for us? Or what tips do you think are the best? So let us know down in the comments. If you like this video, make sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Honestly, you would make our day. And if you want to get the best deals on Disneyland Paris vacations, check out the links below and you might save up to 25% for hotel and tickets here in Disneyland Paris. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you in another video. Bye bye!